Buenos días, bienvenidos a todos. Good morning, welcome everyone. What a wonderful day when we're helping kids out, and a lot of people have stepped up to this, to do this today. I'm Alan Armijo, I'm Director of Constituent Services in the Mayor's Office. Message for Mayor Keller, he apologizes for not being here, but he had to catch a flight early this morning, and that was after last night when we attended 8 National Night Out events from east of Tramway to the petroglyphs and everything in between. We were in a rush, so a lot of positives. The mayor did a great job of, we had 186 National Night Out events last night, and they were covered all by city employees helping people out and working with people. So that's what part of Mayor Keller's agenda is. How do we get out in the community? How do we get involved? How do we get other people involved? And last night was a great event, and today's another great event that he's been pushing and sponsoring, and we've been doing this for a long time. How do we help our kids out? And that's been a focus of Mayor Keller. Public safety is number 1 on his agenda, but helping kids is number 2. And part of that is what Mayor Keller says constantly. He's not in charge of APS, nor does he want to be in charge of APS, but he wants to do programs before and after school. He wants to do programs like we're doing today, collecting school supplies for our children. And to him, this is just a big, wonderful thank you to everybody involved. Our Corporate Volunteer Council, I'm going to introduce our chair here pretty soon. The Mayor's Youth Advisory Council is all standing right here. They're very involved. And these students show up to a lot of events. In fact, Sophia, who was at Albuquerque High, where I used to teach for many years, was yesterday with former Congresswoman Gifford on gun control and involved in that. But our other students, and we have about 21 of them, get involved in different things. Now, the amazing thing about these people, they're not only involved in the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council, at their schools, they're involved in everything. And that's a good thing. So we read a lot of negative things about our kids, but here's the positive stories. These people getting involved. So thank you for being here today. Our city employees, thank you. Thank you for all the different departments for collecting supplies and bringing them down here and making sure that we have enough supplies. Our Albuquerque Fire and Rescue is here, and they've been very involved. The Albuquerque Police Department and all our other city employees. We could not have done this without you. Also want to thank a woman that works for me in my department, Sophia Sanchez, who is a coordinator of the Albuquerque Volunteers. Where's Sophia? All right, Sophia. She actually looks like one of the students, but it's all right. It'll help out in the future. And so I want to thank Transit Department as well. They're supplying the bus so that we can put all these supplies in. And before I forget, when the press conference is over, instead of taking off, if you want to help us load the bus, we'll certainly take your help, all right? So part of this is the mayor's initiative and the First Lady Liz Keller on the One Albuquerque Challenge. And what we're doing through the month of August is partnering. The theme this year is working youth with seniors. Our Mayor's Youth Advisory Council is very involved in doing that as well. But this is part of August agenda is the One Albuquerque Challenge. And on Sunday at 12:30 here in Civic Plaza, please come on down. We're going to have a celebration of the One Albuquerque Challenge. You don't have to do anything except show up. You don't even have to bring a table for your group. You don't have to do anything except come and relax. Bring your kids so they can enjoy the water and come and join us and join the mayor and the first lady in that. If you would like to be part of the One Albuquerque Challenge, go to visit cabq.gov/service and come up with a project. You can put it online. If you do something related to youth and elderly, just put it online and post it so we can know about it. But certainly we want you to get involved. I think what I'd like to do now is introduce and recognize Katrina Wagner, who's the Corporate Volunteer Council of New Mexico, to talk about their part of this.
Thank you so much, Alan. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Katrina Wagner, and I'm the president of the Corporate Volunteer Council and the volunteer coordinator at Sandia National Laboratories, and I'm honored to be here today. I'd like to first thank Mayor Keller's office for inviting us to be here. We are honored to be part of the One ABQ Challenge by collecting school supplies and donations to benefit the students of Albuquerque Public Schools. I'd also like to thank ABQ Ride for this sweet air-conditioned bus that we are using today. to pack the bus with school supplies. Also, thank you to the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council and Albuquerque Fire Department for being here. This is just so inspiring to have so many wonderful members of the community out here today. The mission of the Corporate Volunteer Council is to promote social responsibility through community endeavors like the Back to School Drive. This is actually our signature event. This is the 16th year that we have coordinated the Back to School Drive. There are over 20 local businesses and organizations represented here today, and these are all my colleagues standing here behind me, and I'm so grateful to work with such wonderful members of the community, so thank you. And our goal here is to ensure that our students go back to school with the supplies they need to succeed this year. I'd like to briefly read the names of the businesses and organizations that are here representing the Corporate Volunteer Council. We have ABQ Ride, Aon Risk Solutions, Albuquerque Public Schools, Bank of Albuquerque, Bank of the West, Bernalillo County, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Boys and Girls Club, the City of Albuquerque, Dion's, Fidelity Investments, Gap, Green Team, the Verdes Foundation, Hopeless Cause Audier, Leading Edge Voice and Communications, Mark Pardo, the New Mexico Department of Workforce Solutions, PNM, Sandia Laboratory Federal Credit Union, Sandia National Laboratories, Southwest Capital Bank, and TLC Plumbing. So I was browsing my Facebook page last night, and my CVC colleagues were posting pictures of all the supplies they collected, and I had a little bit of a panic attack because I think we're going to fill this bus today, and I'm wondering where we're all going to sit to get these supplies to APS. So if you see us alongside of the road, we'll take a ride. And what a great problem that is to have. It really shows that the members of the business community and this community have come together to support our APS students, and for that I'm so grateful. We wish all the students in the community a successful 2018-2019 school year, and thank you so much for your time.
Katrina, thank you very much, and the Corporate Volunteer Council. Another agenda of Mayor Keller's is about volunteerism. I've talked about after-school programs and summer programs. Here in the near future, you'll be seeing messages from Mayor Keller in terms of how you can get involved as a volunteer. If you're interested in volunteering, we have 57 boards and commissions. Go to cabq.gov and look at what you're interested in. But in the future, Mayor Keller's agenda is to get you involved. Maybe you can teach something in our summer program, after school program. Maybe it's art, maybe it's music, maybe it's engineering of some type, maybe it's Legos, maybe it's chess, maybe whatever it can be, maybe it's reading and writing. But in the future, we want you, Mayor Keller is going to ask you to get involved, because as he says often, not one entity can take care of the issues in Albuquerque. Not the mayor by himself, not the city council. It takes all of us as one community to do that. My next speaker here is a superintendent who, I don't know if many of you know that I was a Albuquerque Public Schools employee, a teacher at Albuquerque High School for over 23 years, and retired from APS after 33 years. And over those years, I got to work with Ms. Reedy, who was a principal, assistant principal, a teacher, and now has become our superintendent and done a great job for APS and wonderful in terms of taking care of our kids. The superintendent of the Albuquerque Public Schools, Raquel Reedy.
Thank you, thank you. I don't know about you, but every time I see a notebook, when I see glue sticks, when I see colored pencils, and oh, let's not forget Elmer's glue. That's what keeps schools running. Every time I see this, I just get all excited. I'm kind of like one of the kids, because this means that there's going to be a new beginning. We're getting ready for the start of school, and it's almost like, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful feeling to see these supplies. But imagine that you are a second grader who shows up in class without a pencil, or a seventh grader without paper, or a sophomore without a notebook. And suppose the reason that you came unprepared to class was because you couldn't afford the tools that you need to learn. That was me at one point. I don't want any more me's, to be in the Albuquerque public schools. Sadly, it's not a rare scenario in classrooms across APS. 2 out of 3 students come from families in poverty or are struggling to make ends meet. And this time of year can be especially challenging for these families as they get their kids ready to go back to school. That's why we so appreciate the City of Albuquerque under Mayor Keller and the Corporate Volunteer Council of New Mexico. Talk about stepping forward. The generous employees of more than a dozen member organizations have donated so many school supplies that will help thousands, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, it will help thousands of students this school year. These employees and their employers do this with generous hearts and truly kind spirits, and we can't thank them enough. This is a long-standing tradition with Albuquerque, one that brings our community together for the good of all our children. Let's hear it for them. You may need more than a bus. I think you need more than maybe a team of buses. But the fact is that we can't wait to see our supply warehouse at APS Community Clothing Bank. We want to see it. It's going to fill up with all of those pencils and crayons and rulers and folders and other items that have been donated so generously. In the coming days, we will invite representatives from all of our schools. We have 143 schools and 84,000 students. So we will invite representatives from our schools and from charter schools to come by the warehouse to pick up the supplies that they need for their students. And in addition, we try to make these school supplies available all year long. Elmer's glue really vanishes very, very quickly with all the projects. So we want to make sure that we have something left behind so that we can continue to supply what the students need. We want to make sure that no student misses a day of school because they don't have the tools that they need to learn. We want them to focus on learning rather than worrying about borrowing somebody's calculator. And in my case, somebody's eraser. I had to wait until Maria finished with her erasing her problems in math so I could borrow her eraser so that I could erase. Let's stop that. That's just not the way to encourage learning. We want them to be able to participate in class rather than feeling ashamed or skipping class altogether. We need our students to be in school, in class every single day, ready to learn. And their success in school leads to success in life. This Elmer's glue might be the glue that helps them keep it together so that they become strong, successful adults. This is a team effort, and as a community, we rise and we fall and we rise again. So thank you again to CVCNM. Wow, that's pretty catchy. Because of you, we will have fewer second graders without pencils, fewer seventh graders without paper, and fewer sophomores without notebooks. And that certainly is worth celebrating. Mil gracias. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Superintendent Reedy. Katrina and the superintendent and I will be available for questions after this. One Albuquerque, that's what this is about. Sophia, come over here and model that One Albuquerque shirt. That's what we're all about. That's what Mayor Keller is about. And that's what he's been pushing throughout the city. And we are One Albuquerque, whether you work for the city, for APS, for one of the corporate places, a small business, we are One Albuquerque. And in Mayor Keller's words, gracias porque. Oh, help us load the bus.
All right, now we're going to break down.